Mark Davis and Coach Daniels finally did it. They fired offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. Regular viewers of Zenny62 YouTube know that I was not a fan of the hire from the get go because Luke Getsy did a lousy job when he was offensive coordinator with the Chicago Bears and he had prized rookie quarterback Justin Fields in his teaching area, in his under his wing, and proceeded to do a really lousy job with him. Occasionally, flashes of brilliance. The Bears' defense didn't help out, let's face it, but the bottom line is Luke Getsy was obsessed with making Justin Fields a runner, only paid attention to the myriad number of possibilities he could have tried with Justin Fields as a passer, and did no one any favors. His offense was hard to look at for the most part. And so then, miraculously, Luke Getsy is the selection over Eric Bieniemy, who was the offensive coordinator and two-time Super Bowl champ. He's got 2 trophies with the Kansas City Chiefs. So you would think the Raiders would say, hey, you know what? We can't beat them, although they did beat them once. Why don't we get their guy? But no, they didn't do that. Instead, they brought in Luke Getsy. This year, they made that mistake. They brought in Luke Getsy. Meanwhile, Eric Bieniemy takes off to be the offensive coordinator for UCLA. Will definitely come back into the National Football League at some point, but he's with UCLA right now. He really should have been the man the Raiders hired for OC, and who knows, maybe that can still happen. But the bottom line is they didn't do that. They had Getsy. And Luke proceeded to craft some of the... Basically, Luke Getsy put an offense on the field that was a collection of plays looking for a philosophy. What did they do? Well, it's more like, I saw this play work, and I saw that play work, and I saw this play work. But if there's an overarching philosophy, I don't know what it is other than, well, I saw it work once with somebody else. So maybe it'll work with us. It literally looked like that. And more often than not, as you know as Raider fans, that's precisely how the Raiders played. It was driving me nuts. And it's no wonder. And then on top of that, he was part of that decision to bring in Gardner Minshew. I'm sorry. Aiden O'Connell, the heir apparent to Derek Carr, was just fine with me. And others, they should have just handed him the keys and the offense. He was doing quite well. And they could have maintained the previous offensive coordinator and just kept on stepping. But no. They had to bring in Luke Getsy. And apparently the idea, just from reads and listening to people and everything else, was that Luke Getsy could get them Justin Fields, right? Because the Bears are looking to unload Justin Fields, as you know. But that didn't even happen. And in a sense, thank goodness it didn't, because there's no proving to me that Luke Getsy would have gotten anything out of Justin Fields that he didn't get out of him in Chicago, right? So why? Now, would Justin Fields have been great for the Raiders? Absolutely. But paired again with Luke Getsy, I'm lukewarm. I would be lukewarm on that one, okay? Although they did do some great things in Chicago. But I think they had to do more equally with a guy named DJ Moore and how they used him. Primo. But absent these flashes of brilliance, for the most part, Luke Getsy's offense could be described as Payusa. Like, pew, okay? Absolutely awful. And so, again, completely inexplicably, they bring him to the Raiders. And you know, and I know, look, I don't have any hair to lose, but a lot of you other folks did lose hair over it. I know because I watched you. You went ape. You went angry. You went all kinds of things. You were tired of the Raiders offense under Luke Getsy. You know it. I know it. Eric here at Zenny62 knows it. Everybody knows it. And so now guess what? Getsy is gonzo. Fired. Out. Done. Luke Getsy is done. 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 And sorry for the background noise, but Luke Getsy is done. Okay? And I have to emphasize that. So he really is. So where do the Raiders go from here? That's a very good question. I think the Raiders should go and get Eric Bieniemy. And I think it would be a good idea for the Raiders to do that and get him in and have him repair the Raiders offense. They really need it. Have him repair the Raiders offense, because it's not too late for the Raiders to make some kind of run. They have to do something. And this is a great start to do it. There's no time like the present. They can make it happen. A lot of people have not liked Luke Getsy. Even, remember Davante Adams? He said, I want out of this offense. I haven't been hit so hard in my life. Because he was putting the man in positions where the ball was being thrown to him at odd angles, which is not what a receiver wants, or he was being knocked around because of the way the play was designed. A lot of situations that Davante Adams, as great a receiver as there is, simply an elite wasn't used to. So that was the biggest indictment against Luke Getsy, and that complaint happened very recently. So, hey, that, and the complaints just kept adding up, and here we are in mid-season, right? Finally, the Raiders pulled the trigger. Luke Getsy is gonzo. Hey, folks, you got to do this. You got to definitely subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark NFL News by Zenny62.com. Thanks. I'll see you all later. All right.